former top kick, Scooter, Libby.
I believe firmly that Scooter was unjustly accused and prosecuted and deserved a pardon, and the president disagreed with that.
Angry, tense, shouting?
Those kinds of details, I think, are best left to history. Maybe I'll write about it in my book. I was clearly not happy that we, in effect, left Scooter sort of hanging in the wind, which I didn't think was appropriate. I think he's an innocent man who deserves a pardon.
Maybe I'll write about it in my book. Was that like putting a machine gun on the table or what? What did you make of that, Roger?
I think he's worried about what Scooter Libby is going to write about
in his book.
Yes.
That's what I think. This is publisher
courage. It wasn't me, Scooter. Don't tell all those stories.
Do you subscribe to my cabal theory that everything Cheney says now about Scooter is to let Scooter think that he was on his side in those inner meetings, that he was always fighting for Scooter?
Oh, absolutely.
He didn't leave him out to dry.
It may be true. I mean,
it may be true.
The amazing thing is that there is at least one thing George Bush did right in 8 years. He refused to pardon Scooter Libby.
Michelle, it seems to me that he is trafficking in this argument, that he is dying for Scooter so that Scooter won't kill him.
Absolutely. We have seen it time and time again. People leave an administration that they're happy with, and they write a book, and it's usually a tell-all, and more often than not, it appears that they're telling the truth. And if you paid really close attention to what the former vice president said, we left him hanging in the wind. It's a sort of collective guilt complex.
Yeah, well,
and I think no one wants to see what he has.
I don't think that Scooter Libby did anything that Dick Cheney didn't know about. I think he was not out robbing gas stations. Whatever he was doing was in the line of his political duty to Dick Cheney. That was close relationship. But anyway, let's take a look at Frank Gffney. This show always surprises me. This is the latest argument for why we really should have gone to war with Iraq. I have never heard this baby, but I heard it here.
Well, as I said, he kept saying that he was going to try to get even against us for Desert Storm, so it wouldn't be unreasonable for people to conclude maybe that that's what he was doing. There's also circumstantial evidence, not proven by any means, but nonetheless some pretty compelling circumstantial evidence of Saddam Hussein's Iraq being involved with the people who perpetrated both the 1993 attack on the World Trade Center and even the Oklahoma City bombing.
I don't know what to say.
It's just bizarre.
We blame Saddam Hussein for bombing Oklahoma. I thought Timothy McVeigh and a couple of guys were executed.
Yes. We have to believe
and
that
admitted it.
We have to believe that Timothy McVeigh went to his death by lethal injection rather than rat out Saddam Hussein. And that Terry Nichols is sitting in a prison cell serving 161 consecutive life terms rather than spill the beans
This
about
is why,
Saddam.
Michelle, I will set up you because this is why I've always been very skeptical about the reasons we went to war with Iraq. Because they kept trying new ones. If they didn't buy, if anthrax couldn't sell, they'd try to find WMD. And if that didn't sell, they'd say something about democratization or geopolitics or the road to Jerusalem. They always had a new reason. And that's why I thought if they had a really good one, they'd stick to it.
Exactly.
But they kept trying new ones. Well, what they had was a desire to get us to go to war with Iraq, these guys.
I think probably the vast majority of the American public would agree with you, regardless of what the outcome in Iraq will eventually be.
Say it for my ears to hear one more time. They would agree with me in what regard?
They would. I think the vast majority of the American public would agree with you with regard to the fact that the reasons that we went to war in Iraq kept changing. It was a moving target, and many people wanted to know if the Iraqis and Saddam Hussein didn't kill us on 9/11, why are we there?
Back. It was like the drugstore again. My image of the drugstore that says sundries and notions. We always wondered what they were. Now we know. Now, wait a minute. Michelle Bernal, we'll come back with Roger Simon and talk more about the latest from Dick Cheney. You're watching Hard.